Are we on right now? We'd like to welcome everyone to this special episode of Revelations. My name is Norm Steele, and I'm with my homeboy Guerilla Black.
Yo, what's going on, man? Definitely, man. Let's
What's
get it
going
going.
on? Yeah, now what's going on, Black, with all this stuff in Russia right now? With Russia and Ukraine.
Right, right now, what we seeing is a vast play on Russia's behalf to secure itself as an economic powerhouse on a level unprecedented at any given time. You have to understand and take into accountability that people look at Russia as this gas station, the world's big gas station. But they are the supermarket of the commodities when you're looking at the world's number one producer of wheat. Now, you have to also take into account their top five when it comes to petroleum and natural gas. You have to understand that this is a complete power play and a struggle in which where they want to take over, previous territories, not only just for the economic advantages, but also I believe behind this is China. China right now, they've been in a recent standoff with tensions in the Southeast Asia Pacific area. And China is standing back and they're watching this. What a lot of people don't understand, though, about China is they have what is called the Siberian pipeline, which Russia and China brokered a deal. And when they brokered this deal back in 2014, since then, it has produced over 35 billion cubic tons of natural gas to China. This is important for China because China is facing an energy crisis unlike any given time ever seen in history. Now, you have to understand, they already brokering the Siberian pipeline number two. They also have different roadways and road belts and inroads into the Antarctica. Since the global warming, they've been able to finally take these chartered barters all the way into the Antarctica. And where now they're there together working to take natural gases, oil,
Mhm.
all kind of different things up out of there. So China and Russia are literally plotting an economic takeover, and they're using force as well with the resources that they have. The Siberian 2 pipeline, which they're working, this pipeline is supplying most of Eastern Europe's natural gas today. Today alone, everybody, and I want y'all to peep this. Oil went up to $100 a barrel. $100 a barrel. Y'all don't understand what's finna go on. We've been whining about 7% inflation. This is nothing, nothing compared to what's about to happen. You got to think in natural oil prices and petroleum just rose 30% in Eastern Europe. Now, let's talk about Ukraine. Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe, which
Mhm.
Russia is attacking. They're the number one producers of corn and barley. You guys go back, look at our other show that we did, me and Steele. We told y'all what corn makes: cosmetics, deodorant, batteries, spark plugs, tools, plastics. You name it, corn makes it, and they're the world's number one producer of corn. You add this now. All right, America, Biden is talking about all of these sanctions. Russia is not afraid of any sanctions. And when you look at the central bank, it's number 11 in the superpower of global powers, but it's number 5 in reserves in foreign currencies. It has stopped this reliance, which back it was relying on 95% of petrodollars. Now all of these countries pay Russia in other things, gold, other things. Think about it. Their reserves hold 22%. Only people who have more gold than Russia is Italy and the United States and the United Kingdom, not even China. These
Wow.
people are not worried about any economic sanctions whatsoever.
Well,
Think
Black,
about
can
the
I ask you a question?
stranglehold.
Can I ask you a question, not to cut you off, because you make some profound statements, right? I mean, you've been talking about this for the past couple of days.
Right, exactly.
If we go back, do you remember when our previous president Trump was impeached the first time?
Yes, yes, I
It was
definitely
behind
do.
his activities with Russia. He was trying to get the Ukraine to manufacture some kind of dirt on Biden when they were going through election, and he kind of wanted to
Exactly.
punish them. So this is a precursor. Trump pretty much set the Ukraine up for what we're seeing today. Would you agree?
I definitely believe it. But I believe that it was in works years and years and years ago. See, you got to understand that these sanctions in 1995, Russia's gold reserves was under 2 million tons. Today, their reserves is at 130 million tons of gold. Listen to me, people. These people are not, they've been preparing because we've hit them with some of the most crippling sanctions ever heard of. They've destabilized themselves. Okay, there's a system in which foreign countries pay Russia for their goods, which is called SWIFT. Some of
Mhm.
you out there may be aware of this, but they knew they wanted to de-dollarize Russia. So they developed their own payment platform with other countries to pay them. They have totally broken themselves from any reliance on dollarization, period. Now think about who they're in partner with. They're in partner with China. Everything that you could think of in your store right now on the shelves is supplied by who? China. Why do they want to? Why do you think they want to bolster Russia's claim to Ukraine? Listen to the media outlets and what they're saying. They're saying that the US is instigating. They're instigating in this. Russia will not uphold any sanctions that the United Nations bring to the forefront. Not whatsoever. Why would they? When by 2025, 20 CUs of natural gas will be flowing into their pipelines. You got to think, these people push out literally over they doing right now about 5 million barrels of oil a day in Russia. 5 million barrels of oil and 2.5 million barrels of petroleum. Do you think that they care about our sanctions? We are a fossil fuel reliant economy that don't manufacture anything. We don't manufacture anything. They manufacture raw materials. Think about it: palladium, uranium, nickel, cobalt, they produce all of these things. They're very much insulated from any sanctions. They are going to impede upon Ukraine for their natural resources.
Well,
And
one
this is
thing, not to, and I'm sorry for cutting you off again, bro. One thing that's scary about this right here, right, is that there's going to be a hostile takeover of the Ukrainian government. And one thing that we have to do, and the thing that scares me kind of about our president, not that I like the previous one, is his backbone. We have to be very clear in not recognizing any other form of government other than the government that the Ukraine, that the, than the one that previously exists over there now as it stands,
right.
because
Now,
they
you're
have a
right.
kill
You're right.
list. They have a kill
Yeah.
list over there, and if we're not really ready to happen, what's their president, Volodymyr Zelensky? That's the
Mhm.
Ukrainian president, right?
Right. Right.
They're pretty much going over there to kick him out of office. He's probably going to get murdered, possibly,
Right.
if we don't intervene. Because these
Right.
little sanctions and everything, they don't give a damn about that, like you said. They don't care.
They don't
They're not
they
scared of
don't
that.
care. They're not afraid of that. Listen, they're finna squeeze Europe dry. Okay, you're saying we're gonna come down with NATO with these crippling sanctions upon Russia.
Mhm.
Okay, now all of the European countries that's there in Europe, well, if y'all gonna squeeze us, remember our Siberian pipeline provides most of your natural gas and oil. So what we'll do is we'll squeeze you back. So now you guys will really be in a shortage for petroleum fuel and natural gas. And we'll just sell it to our business partners, the Chinese, which they're very hungry for. And they really want to buy all of it because they don't want to rely on their routes where there could possibly be a naval blockade for their oil supply coming out of all of their routes. So they're trying to not be so much dependent on those routes anymore. China doesn't want to depend on any of those routes anymore because they know that the Navy is there. The United States Navy is there for all of those other routes. Venezuela, look at all of those South American countries that produce nothing but oil. China, okay, think about it like this. When we, as a country, when we had our last president, Trump, in there, and we put these crippling economic sanctions on Venezuela, they literally flew out 100 tons of gold out of Venezuela. These, you guys have to understand, they are so de-dollarized right now in Russia. It's ridiculous. They
Gangsterism.
gangsterism. Remember, 95%. In 1995, 95% of all of the petrol that they sold us was we gave them petrodollars. Now they've reduced that to 10%. Think about what I'm saying to you people. They finna hold Europe hostage.
Now let
They
me ask you
putting
this.
the
Let me ask you this, brother, because you're an expert on this stuff, right? I mean, you've been talking about it for a while.
right.
What does this occupation that Russia has going on in the Ukraine right now, what does that do? How does that impact America?
Well, for one, I just said it at the beginning of this broadcast. The day a couple of hours ago, when they fired the first bombs, look at our stock market. It just tanked. It tanked hundreds and hundreds of points. I'm not sure. It was around 700 points earlier when I looked at it. It may be more or it may be less, but it was a few hundred. Commodities went through the roof. You got to think, these are commodities that are bought for the future. Oil right now, you're able to pull up and maybe get it here in Los Angeles around 450. Think about it. The price of a barrel of oil just jumped $100. This is just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't even started yet. Oh, we was whining? Okay, we just came out of COVID and now we're traveling around. Now look at the pressure that petroleum oil is going to put on all sectors of manufacturing, all sectors of travel and leisure. You thinking 7% is something?
Now remember,
Watch
Black,
when
not
it.
to cut you off, we want to be careful about saying that C word.
Okay, definitely. We definitely. So you got to think. We just came out of an endemic. Let's put it like that, an endemic. Think about it. We're at 7% now, especially here in California. Last month, we seen the harshest reality of inflation in the state of California alone, where me and you reside. Imagine what this is going to be all across the country in less than 3 months from now, because now people are having to buy those shares. Russia is not going anywhere. That president, you said he may be killed or something like that. No, he's going to become a bargaining chip. He's going to be taken, he's going to be imprisoned, and then they're going to start negotiations with the West and with NATO. NATO is not going to do anything that's going to hurt them. Their economy, the people inside of their economy, have been hurting due to all of these crippling economic sanctions that have been placed on them. But slowly but surely, you got to think about all of the things that they've been developing. They have been spending, they spending hundreds of billions of dollars, hundreds of billions. They have 17 days worth of oil exports worth of money in reserves, just in gold. You think people are going to stop buying it? They're going to get richer. They're going to become even more wealthier as a nation. They're working with China. I just told y'all earlier, they're building these inroads into the Antarctica. right now.
Now, if you remember from our previous episode, we talked about the book of Revelation, right?
Right.
Now, this is where it gets kind of scary yet. The beast is supposed to come out the east, right?
Right.
Here we go, right here. Black, we will
We
be on
talked
here a
about
long
it.
time. I want you guys to get ready for this episode that we have coming up with Revelations, the Anunnaki episode 2. We're dropping that tomorrow. Wanted to put it out today, but you can't rush greatness. You can't rush greatness. And
Definitely.
also, me and Black will be doing our first live for Revelations. I'm letting you know now. It's strictly about topics that we cover or you guys may want to hear. We don't want to hear nothing about any other shows or anything like that. You'll be kicked out the room. So look forward to that. Look forward to that this Monday. What you think, Black? 6 o'clock on Monday?
6 o'clock, man. It sounds good, man. Let's do
6
it.
o'clock. 6 o'clock Monday. We will be on live, and that's Revelations. We checking out of here right now.
All right. Peace, man. Definitely check it out. Anunnakis.
Peace.
Peace.